All right. Check, check. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. So it's our very last class. So I can't believe we're here already, but good luck everybody making it here. Um, that's from my computer. So yeah, I don't really have anything for today other than uh spending a bit of time answering whatever questions you might have about the final exam or the material or anything else. So I don't know, there aren't too many people here. So maybe we'll go an hour, maybe less. I'll just go until I've answered everyone's questions, and then we'll wrap it up and get out of here. So, I guess take it away, anyone who has any questions. So, Jose, the final is a take home, and the last day, the day that it will be due, is excuse me, the last day of the exam period, which is December 22nd, 11:59 p.m. Yep, no problem. And it's going to be like the so for Daisy's second question, it'll be like a larger version of the quiz. And that also means that once you start, you'll have a time limit. It'll be a longer time limit than the quiz. I'll probably give you twice as much time. Maybe even longer. So once you begin, there's a time limit, but um, you can choose when you start. For the essay and quiz 2 marks, you'll get the quiz 2 marks first. I don't exactly know when. We're just trying to get it done as quick as we can. For the essay, I don't know. I can't really speak to the essay until we've got the quiz 2 marks done. But you'll get the quiz 2 marks back first. For the essay, for Becky's question, the format, I'm not really sure what you mean. It's it's an essay. So you're probably looking for, oh, APA is what I recommend. Yeah, and Jose is right. You want to hand it in either doc or PDF, just because I can't open other file types. Yeah, docx is okay. If you do Chicago or um if you do some other format or citation style, that's fine. I just recommend APA. No, the exam does not need citations. Only the essay. So Connor asked when the final opens. I'm thinking it's probably going to be open for Monday. Is the exam mainly focused on the last 3 lectures? Probably, well, it's going to be an even split between um material that we've covered since the second quiz and then stuff that we covered in the first and second quizzes. For short answer questions, I haven't exactly settled on a number yet. It'll be more than 20. Probably no more than 40. Um, but you'll have a lot more time. And again, it is open book. For short answer questions, I don't know, probably 6. Yeah. Okay, so Milan, whether you use in-text citations depends on your citation style, but you always need them. You always need some kind of in-text thing. Um, for example, if you're doing APA or MLA, um it'll be like a parenthetical reference. So every time you cite a book or a paper or any source, it'll be a parenthetical reference, and then the full bibliographic information in your references section. If you're doing Chicago, um, you'd be using footnotes, and then down at the bottom in your footnote, you'd have uh, the in-text information, and then again, full bibliographic information in the references section. Yep. Any other questions? I mean, so far we've been dealing with uh, questions to do with format. Um, does anyone have questions about material? Well, you have the answers already if you think about it. Not really. Like I said, I'm going to draw from the entire course. Um, so there's a number of things that could potentially be on the exam. Mhm. Um, so yeah, any question about the final, Michael? Yeah, ask away. Any question? Um, your evidence should be whatever supports what you're trying to say. It doesn't have to be a direct quotation. It can be a paraphrase. It can be your own original argument. It's anything that supports what you're trying to convince your reader of. Like, you know how Crumley does it. Um, right? Like, think of the book chapters. Like, see how Crumley writes the book chapters. Um, he uses example. He doesn't just quote people, right? He uses examples, little scenarios he comes up with, little thought experiments. That's the kind of thing you're going to be doing, right? Will the stuff from Whitehead and Heidegger be on the exam? Maybe. No, you can use whatever pronouns you want in the essay. You can use I, so you can use the personal pronoun I. You can use the royal we if you want to sound fancy, or you can do it from a third person perspective. Yeah, go ahead, unmute and ask your question.
Is my mic work?
Yep.
I was just kind of curious, like on like the f almost kind of like the formality, or like how formal the essay has to be in a sense that just two things I was curious while writing it. On your opinion, what's your opinion on like having explanation marks in like the in the essay? Because I once had a teacher in grade 12, and they kind of said that was a big no-no, but I'm not sure if that's true in all cases.
Um, you can, but you definitely don't want to overuse them. Um, you should reserve their use for when it really makes a difference in your writing. Um, so I'd just be careful not to overuse them. Maybe one or two in the whole paper, right?
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And
And then
yeah.
Uh, I was curious because I was wondering, are all the like quotes that we use, do they all have to be uh like scholarly sources? Like if I have enough, like I have in mind, I have enough scholarly sources, but then I also added like a few from like media and like books that I've read that aren't necessarily like scholarly, but like I can take them out. I was just curious if that's okay though.
Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes though those aren't really as employed as evidence, but as little um, you can kind of use them for rhetorical effect.
Yeah, they're
Um,
kind of just like in there. Like they're not, like, I don't really use them as like my point is correct because of this. I just kind of like put the little quote there because I thought it was cool. Kind of thing.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Becky, you can use rhetorical questions if that's what you're asking. Yeah, you can use rhetorical questions. But one thing to watch out for if you're using rhetorical questions is not to overuse them. Don't rely on them instead of making an argument. Some people make that mistake where instead of actually arguing, they just ask rhetorical questions, and that's not making an argument, right? So you can ask a rhetorical question and use it to great effect by then, by posing the question and then explaining some feature of your argument. That works. But if you just rely on rhetorical questions instead of actually answering your research question or making your argument, then that's not going to be good. Um, well, yeah, you could, Ryan, you can use it. Here you're using, yeah, that I guess that's using it as a secondary source. But yeah, you can do that. You can cite um because Crumley quotes a lot of primary sources. So if you can't go out and find that source on your own, or if you do find it and it's a different translation, then yeah, just do like Plato as cited in Crumley or something like that. Yeah, you can definitely use a hook that has a rhetorical question or even just a regular question. That's a good way to get people interested. Sometimes I do that in course descriptions. I start with a couple questions and just to draw the reader in, and then we move on from there. Again, just don't over rely on questions. Thanks, Jose. I'm glad you learned so much. It's nice to hear that. Anything else? Any other questions? No, I actually haven't seen Inception. I've just kind of never gotten around to it. Yeah, I know. I know. It's like I feel like I've heard so much about it that I've seen it without seeing it. Um, I'll get around to it. I imagine some of you are writing some essays on that film. I don't know Shutter Island. Shutter Island sounds like something to do with photography. Yeah, I'll check it out. Shutter Island. Okay. Inception and Shutter Island. Maybe I can watch those over the break. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're writing about those, I should watch them so that there's no need for spoiler warnings. And Christian, thank you. I'm glad you had a good semester. Or I'm glad that this class was good. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Well, geez, there aren't too many people here, and there aren't too many more questions. It doesn't seem, anyway. Actually, people are already starting to leave. So, I guess just to wrap up, yeah, most likely the final will be available to you sometime on Monday. And yeah, the essay is due tonight. I imagine you're all wanting to just go ahead and get to work on that. Um, what else? What else? Hmm. Can't really think of anything. Well, I haven't settled on a solid number, but probably probably six um short answer questions. Um and I'd say up to 40 true false multiple choice. So yeah, it'll have more. I don't know the exact number yet because I haven't quite settled on that. But yeah, it'll just be like a longer version of the quiz. You can submit again up until midnight, and we'll just mark the most recently submitted one. Emma, you'll have more than 90 minutes. So the quizzes you had 90 minutes, the essay you'll probably have like up to 3 hours. Yeah, Michael, welcome. I'm happy that I'm happy to have made I'm happy to have done a I'm happy to have what am I happy to have done? I'm happy that the that you found the course good. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Donnie Darko, right, that's another one. No, the essay is not what? No. No, the exam is like the quizzes. So there's short answer questions and there's true false multiple choice questions. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, no worries. The essay is a totally different thing. Um, well, probably like the quiz. It's really different for everyone. I don't have any hard and fast rules for how much time you should spend on a question. Some people are really fast at multiple choice and some are a little more deliberative. And some people, yeah, some people are fast writers, some people are a little more slow. Um, there aren't really any rules. I would budget your time though. I would say make sure you have if you know knowing how quick you are at each kind of question, budget your time accordingly. So if you have 3 hours, say, okay, I'm going to give myself 1 hour for true, false, and multiple choice, and then I'll give myself 2 hours for short answer. Um, In fact, one thing I was thinking of doing was even having them broken up into two sections so that you can do the short answer like one day and the true, false, and multiple choice another day if you want to. For those of you still here, would that be something that you'd be interested in? Yeah, Connor says yes. Okay. Yeah, that's something I could do. Yeah, because I think that would just make everyone's lives easier, right? So that's one thing I was thinking of doing. So I can make, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll just have two sections. You can start, like, oh, today I feel like the multiple choice section, and you can just go ahead and do that. You could do it all in one day if you wanted to. It would just be in two different sections so that you'd have to finish, it would be two different things. But you could do it all in one day if you want. Again, I just kind of thought of this, so I don't know, but I don't know. 90 minutes each or something. You'd have more than enough time. Yeah. Yeah, I do some kind of split, like split 3 hours between the two sections or something. Okay, yeah. I'll consider that. More time for the short answers. Hmm. Yeah, okay. Anything else? So probably 3 hours, but I probably like I was saying, I probably if I do the multiple sections, like, and it wouldn't be sections like the quiz, it would be like actual different, like they would be like different tests. So one would be all of the short answer and one would be all of the multiple choice. You have the choice of which one you do first. And I'd split the time between the two of them, probably giving a little more time for the short answers. Yeah. That's just so people can manage their time over the break. Like, um, maybe you maybe you have a lot of in-person exams. So maybe you have a free afternoon and you're like, oh, I can do the multiple choice now. I've got nothing to do this afternoon. And you can just phew, fire them all off real quick. And then another day you can spend a little more time on the short answer. Remember, study beforehand. Um, it is open book, but study beforehand and read all of the questions very carefully because the questions indicate, um, I mean, the question asks you what you need to write down. It asks you for the answer that you have to give, and it breaks down how many points you get for doing what. And that gives you an indication of what you need to say to get those points. While people are slowly filing out, we haven't even gone half an hour. Honestly, I thought a lot more people would be here just because you get to ask questions. But you know what? Whatever. I'm okay with ending things a little earlier as long as there aren't any other questions. So I'll do one more. Hey, are there any questions? And then if there are not, we will conclude. Well, thank you guys who are here. I mean, it's nice to show up and see that you're serious about doing well. Oh yeah, I can still answer questions. Essay questions are cutting it a little bit close because the essay's due today, but I can answer questions about other things, like later today and throughout the exam period. I'll still be answering my emails and whatnot. So yeah, absolutely. If you have a question, say you're studying for your final perhaps, and you have a question, then you can certainly email me. Thanks, Shane. Yeah, it is a tricky course. This is trickier than the first time I taught it because I'm using a different textbook. I would say a better textbook. Um, it's not the easiest first year philosophy class, but you all really stuck with it. So it's good. You should be proud of yourselves. Yeah, email is the best. Discord is fine, but Discord is really for you guys to talk amongst yourselves and kind of study, spitball, ask questions. Official correspondence always should go through email, right? So I can try and answer questions about the material over Discord really quickly, but official emails are always best. Yeah, five. Yeah, that's right. Robin got it. 5%. Oh, and go back to Hannah. Yeah, stressed. It's normal to be stressed around this time of year. Remember, try and manage your time as well as possible, and also, um, make sure you give yourselves some you time, you know? It can be easy to it can be easy to just kind of go all day and all night studying, writing essays, writing finals, so on and so forth, without giving yourself much of a break. But this can lead to burnout, which is not good. So, work hard, but also relax hard. Give yourself time to rest and recover. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you're getting lots of sleep, eating well, right? That sort of thing. That's just as important as studying. Well, it's almost been about 30 minutes, so. For 5 minutes, I'm usually pretty lenient, but if it's a couple hours late, then yeah, that's a day late. But if you're like really scrambling and you're like, oh, I got an email, oh, I missed it by a minute, oh no, like I wouldn't worry. But I'd say that if you're like handing it in 4 or 5 hours past the deadline and it's obvious that you've just scrambled to write something, then yeah, then you're going to get that 5% taken off. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Go ahead, Robin. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's sort of like, is my mic working?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. It's sort of like a more kind of personal question for you and less as like for Professor Redstone. Um, in your opinion, what would you like define philosophy as? I'm asking all my philosophy teachers this because apparently you get like different answers. So I
Oh,
was just kind
really?
of curious.
Well, I guess, I think of it as investigating fundamental questions. So, fundamental questions about everything. That's how I think of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no
Interesting.
problem.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Yeah, I get that. I get that, Mohammed. That's why I'm saying, um, like, look, once you get all your stuff handed in, either this course or other courses, take the weekend and relax. Try not to think about things, right? You're gonna need that recovery time. Some people are just kind of like go, go, go. And I admit it, like I'm guilty of this myself sometimes, but it's something I'm really trying to work on. Um, so anyway, I mean, I guess I'm just emphasizing the importance of rest and recovery. Cover page, I think there's a Carleton University format for title pages. I mean, honestly, you can really do it whatever way you want. I don't care as long as the student information and course information is there. So the course code, the name of the course, your name, your student number, due date, as long as that's there, I don't really care about the format. But I believe Carlton does have a sort of style for that you can find on their website somewhere. The various style guides also have different title pages. So APA has like a set title page format. You can use that, right? I don't care. I just want the information to be there. Yeah. Okay, so Hannah says, so referencing scenes from movie, referencing scenes rather, for our essays. How detailed should we go into the scene? Um, you should try and aim for a summary. Like only summarize what you need to, because space, you don't have all of the space in the world, right? Yeah, I'd include your student number, Robin. Yeah, just explain as much as you need to. Like think about our first couple of lectures on skepticism, and I explained the matrix to try and liken it to the allegory of the cave on the philosopher's journey. Not everyone had seen the matrix, but I explained enough. You don't need the whole backstory. I can just say, okay, so in the matrix we have Neo, who's in the matrix, and here's what the matrix is. But then people come along and free him from the matrix, and Neo begins to realize the truth, which is blah 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 blah, and that's why the Matrix is like the cave, right? Yeah, that's why I did that, Mohammed, actually, is the exact reason you're saying. Because this way you wouldn't have to juggle too much. You've at least got the option of when you do this, even if you don't have the others. 3 to 5, Jivitesh, 3 to 5 sources. And they need to be scholarly sources. You can use other sources as well, for explanation, clarification, and illustration, but for evidence, you need to use scholarly sources. And that can include the book, the textbook, and my lectures. Yes. No, I haven't seen that, but I'm familiar with it. I've actually heard it mentioned in philosophy papers. No, no encyclopedia counts, except the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. We don't cite encyclopedias. Yep, you can cite if you have 3 of my lectures. Yeah, that works. But I do encourage you to go and find other sources. That shows that you're doing research, right? I suppose. Um, the only problem with that is I can't check them, right? I suppose you could in theory, but I can't access those. Um, so I would probably not encourage that unless it's like an open source lecture. Um, something that you can find on the internet. Yeah, yeah, you'd still need sources. You because you're likening ideas in the film to ideas from philosophy, so you need to cite those philosophers. Well, you can cite their slides, but I don't have access to any of that, right? So, and you can't really share slides from another course with me. Um, so I wouldn't do that. No. I would aim for um other sources. Oh, we're down to 14 people. Well, anything else? I think because there's barely anyone here, we may as well wrap up. Any other questions? Anything at all? Yeah, I encourage that. I think you should look over each other's work if you've got like a class buddy. Read over each other's papers and edit them. absolutely. And when you read your own over, read it out loud. You'll catch a lot more errors if you're just reading it at like out loud instead of in your mind. Yeah. Welcome. Well, people are starting to leave, so, or well, people have been leaving rather. So I want to say once again, thanks everybody. Thanks to those of you who are here today asking these questions. I'm sure that yeah, usually it's the folks that show up for this sort of thing that end up doing well. So that's good for you, and it's nice for me too to see that you're really interested in doing well. So that's great to see, and you all did a good job. This is not the easiest first year philosophy class, but I think everybody did a pretty decent job. And you should be pretty happy with yourselves for making it all the way through. Think about it. We've read the entire book, and you've not just done this, you've done this with 3 or 4 other classes too. So you should all be very, very pleased with yourselves. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Ask in the Discord, like ask each other, get a little question thread going in the Discord server. Um, see who wants to read whose papers. Yeah, that's great, Hannah. I'm so glad that you found it interesting and yeah, spread the word. Get lots of people taking philosophy because it's actually pretty important. Okay, well, I think that'll be it. Um that's good. Yeah, thanks, Mohammed. I'm glad you found it interesting and enjoyable. I'm glad that everybody I'm glad for the people that stick with it. You know, when we start these courses, there's always hundreds of people, and when we get down to the end, we see who's really serious um about learning, right? So yeah, it's good. I'm glad that you all stuck with it. Looks like my dentist is calling me. I'll have to call them back. All right. I teach a few. I think next semester, one of mine is a second year course. It's on personal identity and the self. And then I think my emotions class is a third year course. Um, yeah. So yeah, sometimes I teach second year courses. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Keep an eye on those course offerings. And sometimes I teach in the summer as well. So I don't know if that's happening for certain yet. It probably is, but I'm awaiting confirmation. But yeah, sometimes I teach courses in the summer, and usually those will be second year courses, second or third. All right. I think that's all I have. We're down to 10 people, so get the heck out of here, everyone. Go and finish your essays and then relax, take the weekend off, okay? Get yourself some rest and recovery. You've all earned it. And then then if you have any questions, ask me on Monday or something when you've rested, or ask me before midnight if you're really concerned. I'll answer questions through email later today. But thank you all. Enjoy the winter break. Yeah, if you're going and doing a holiday thing, then enjoy that. Or if you're just taking holidays as in time off, enjoy that as well. It's been great. I hope you all continue to succeed in university. I'm looking forward to reading your papers. I'm looking forward to seeing how you do on the exam. And yeah, thanks everyone. It was fun. This was a blast. Love teaching these classes. So take care of yourselves. And I will see you somewhere down the line, I'm sure. Um, bye everyone. Take care.